Great. Good morning, everyone. This is the May 25th, regular board meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners. My name is Jonathan Swain. I am a commissioner, and today I will be chairing the meeting. Chair Hernandez will be absent. Along with us on the phone is Commissioner Bill Crespi.
Present.
Great. First item on the agenda, consideration of the agenda. Are there any changes?
No, thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Now moving to the second item, approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of May 11th, 2021. I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Commissioner Cressy seconds.
Having been moved and properly seconded, all those in favor, Commissioner Swain votes aye. Commissioner Cressy?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Great. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Moving on, Executive Director's report. Mr. Holliday.
Good morning, commissioners. I attended a recap virtual hall meeting on the John Lewis votercade event. Other states attended as well and spoke on their experiences on that day. It was a very well attended meeting and very informative. I also attended the webinar on the ranked choice voting benefits for candidates and voters of color. There was various speakers who spoke on ranked choice voting, and it also was a very informative meeting. Attended the spring board meeting of the Association of Election Commissioners of Illinois. There were speakers from the State Board of Election who spoke on updates to the Illinois voter registration system and the legislation. Also, I was elected second vice president of the association. Yesterday, along with my assistant director, Sandra Spera, HR manager, Lucretia Dandridge, finance manager, Kimberly Trello Walker, and our facilities consultant, Dean Fatikas, we met with Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner of AIS and members of the City Budget Committee on repairs needed for our warehouse. They stated repairs are scheduled to begin within the next month or so and completion by December. Funding for this made available through a TIF grant that the city received. Also, this is Asian American Month. I have Jane Lau from our Community Service Department here to speak on events that she has attended. Jane.
Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you for having the board meeting. So May is the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and different organizations are hosting various events. And I attended some of the events, and one of them was hosted by Asian American Division of Chicago, and the other one was hosted by news station, and all very well and very informative because a lot of leaders and also the community organizers attended the meeting, and I got a lot of
Excuse me, Jane, you're a little chopped up.
Is it okay?
That's a bit better, thank you.
Okay. Should I start or can you get that?
Continue.
Okay, so all the meetings that I attended were virtual, so they were attended by different community leaders and organizers, and the meetings were very informative. So I got a lot of the updates, what's going on in the community, and I also got the new contacts from the new organizations and also the new community organizers. And at the meetings, a lot of the events that were canceled last year, and it was announced that the events are coming back this year. So I have to follow up with them, and I'm going to join some of them.
Okay, thank you, Jane. So that's the end of my report.
Great. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Charles. Assistant Executive Director's report, Sandra.
Good morning, Commissioner Swain, Commissioner Cressy. So we are having significant progress at our warehouse with the help from the downtown staff. That's all I have.
Okay. Great. Okay, moving on. Old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration. Any report on that, Charles?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Electronic poll books.
Only that's just the maintenance of that is part of the projects that's going on at the warehouse right now.
Great. Voting equipment?
None.
Great. Legislation, Adam?
Thank you, Commissioner. For a good majority of the bills that we're watching, there's been no action, not only since last meeting, but since sometime in March. So what I'd like to focus on today is that there is right now a sort of two dueling bills in the legislature regarding an elected Chicago school board. So I'll report on the status of those. There's three bills that we've been watching, but one of them, the first one that we reported on, has had no change in its status since March 27th. It's been stuck in Rules Committee, so I assume that bill is continuing to go nowhere. We do still have Senate Bill 827, which was a shell bill until Senate Amendment Number 1 created the proposal for the Chicago Board of Education to be elected. With under this proposal, the elections would be conducted by the school board. This is where there would be 5 appointed members still by the mayor and then 2 members elected in elections that would happen at the same time as their current local school council elections. Our board would have nothing to do with that. On May 21st last week, that bill was re-referred to the Senate Assignments Committee. Still has not had a vote in the Senate, so it has not made it over to the House. The other bill that's moving forward is House Bill 2908. That did pass the House on April 15th, and it's currently in the Senate. Its most recent status is that last week, May 19th, it was postponed to the Senate Executive Committee. It's a deadline to bring it. Rule 210 deadline, I think, is to bring it back to the floor no later than May 29th. Of course, the session ends at the end of this month. Under this proposal, our Board of Elections would conduct the elections. There's the way that the bill is currently drafted, and I've just double-checked that language and the status as of this morning. The way that the current bill language reads, the elections would begin in the 2023 municipal or consolidated election cycle. It's the consolidated election cycle where we hold Chicago municipal elections. It would happen in 2023 and 2027, and then the legislature would reevaluate as to whether to keep it going in that regard. There would be one member that would be elected district-wide, so citywide, and then 20 members elected from 20 districts. That's the way that the bill is currently written. We have received information from the Mayor's Office of Legislative Affairs indicating that there's a lot of talk in Springfield to reduce that number of seats on the board and the number of districts, perhaps all the way down to 7 districts. It is currently a 7-person board. So apparently there is talk about amending this bill to keep it at a 7-member board with 7 election districts that we'd have to map on to our ballots for the 2023 consolidated election cycle and February election. One issue that has raised some administrative concerns, but there's been a lot of talk about whether or not citizens will be allowed to vote in these elections. I think the basis of that conversation, I should say whether non-citizens will be allowed to vote. The basis of that conversation is that under the current local school council elections that the school board, not our election board, conducts, non-citizens are allowed to participate. This bill is silent on that issue, and all it really says is that the elections shall be held pursuant to the general election law, which would, of course, mean the same rules we're currently following with the same registration requirements, including citizenship. So that's the status of those 2 bills. There's a lot up in the air between now and the 30th. I'm sure that we'll have a much different report for you at the first meeting in June. We'll be monitoring that. So, of course, Commissioner Swain and Cressy, please reach out to me at any point if you want updates between now and the next meeting. I had mentioned last meeting a potential omnibus bill. That bill has not moved anywhere since the last meeting. I think some other important bills that we're watching that also have no status includes increasing the number of voters per precinct or reducing the number of precincts. That bill has not moved since April 16th. I get too far in the weeds on these because there's been a lot of just non-action in the election-related bills. Any questions about that?
Thanks, Adam. I do have a question. If there was a report in a Politico today that there's still conversation about moving the primary, if that happens, that requires legislative action, correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
The election code sets those dates, so the election code would have to be amended.
Okay, so there's a probability we would know something about that by the end of the month when session's scheduled to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll go look for the article and look for the bill and keep my eyes on it.
No, there's no bill. There's just a lot of conversation about the that trying to base the maps on preliminary census data creates allows the maps to be more subject to judicial scrutiny.
Right.
And so the thought is to push the primary. So there's some conversation about that. So just keep your eye on that if you could.
I'll give another shout out to Angela Ryan at the State Board of Elections. She's their legislative director, and she does a great job over there. That's an issue that, of course, the State Board would be extremely interested in.
Great.
It's a statewide thing. So I'll keep in touch with her about that. Thank you.
Commissioner Cressy, any questions?
Yes, Adam, with regards to the last school board bill that we were talking about, the one that's currently a 21-member board that might get reduced to 7, that has the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners running that election, and that bill also is silent with regards to non-citizens voting. Is it your understanding that in the way it's shaped right now, where it's silent to non-citizens voting and we would conduct the election, then is it your understanding that we would conduct it using the registrations that we have and it would be only citizens voting?
Well, that's correct, Commissioner, because under current law, in order to register to vote with us, you have to be a citizen in order to participate in all of the elections throughout the state that are run by election authorities. You do have to be a citizen, and that's both the state and federal law. So there would have to be a change in the law in order for us to allow any other non-citizen to register and vote with us. Yes. So silence
very
means
much.
silence means no change on that.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
You're welcome, Commissioner.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. There is no new business today. Is there a legal report, Adam?
No news from the update that I provided you all yesterday.
Okay, great. Thank you. Moving on to financial report. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the city of Chicago, 2021 appropriation 21-03, dated May 25th, 2021, in the amount of $171.83. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved by Commissioner Cressy.
A move by Commissioner Cressy, second by Commissioner Swain. All those in favor?
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Swain votes aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Moving on, balance sheet and voucher listing for the County of Cook, 2021 appropriation 20-03, dated May 25th, 2021, in the amount of $500. Can I get a motion?
Commissioner Cressy, so moves.
Moved by Commissioner Cressy, seconded by Commissioner Swain. All those in favor?
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
Commissioner Swain votes aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes do have it. Moving on, Trish, is there any public comment today?
No one has put in a request to make public comment.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Adam, is there a need for executive session today?
Not today, Commissioner. Thank you.
All right, great. Having said that, I move that we adjourn to our next regularly scheduled board meeting, which is when?
June 8th.
So I move that we I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn to our next regularly scheduled board meeting on June 8th.
First, just a point of privilege. Magnificent job chairing this meeting, Jonathan. And Commissioner Cressy so moves.
Thank you very much, sir. And Commissioner Cressy having moved, I will second that motion. All those in favor?
Commissioner Cressy votes aye.
And Commissioner Swain votes aye. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The meeting is adjourned to our next regular meeting. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.